Good morning, everyone. Yes, I am getting ready to go back into the garden. As you can see, I already got a little color. I even had a little sunburn going on. We're having 80-degree weather here. I'm not kidding. It's like, okay, great. It's overcast, still going to be 80 degrees. The one nice thing, though, yet still April, the humidity is not there. It's not. I can tell in the air. Okay, one would think, but it's not. That's going to start in about a month and a half or so. Maybe sooner. We'll see. And then it gets really, one could say, a little bit unbearable. Well, anyway, uh, and I'm working in the garden. I'm getting things ready so that yes, a big move again. Man, I've done this several times in my life where I really uprooted. The one time that I got ready to really uproot again, it didn't work out for one reason or another, and it was a good thing as well. As I said, I'm always ready for the change. And sometimes people aren't, that's not what people want, or not ready for it, or, well, then you go with that too. I'm just ready for whatever, huh? Whatever kind of God gives me, calls me for. And then, of course, wherever God calls you to, the people kind of need to be ready as well, kind of thing. Yeah, well, I'm not sure, but yeah, it kind of works that way. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. But I'm getting ready for another big move. And so I always like to leave things where people don't have to clean up after me, kind of. And so I'm getting everything ready so nobody has to worry about this or that. And also where I can be clear, don't touch this, don't do that. Okay, just saying, right? And I'm really excited. As I said, I'm so excited to go and spend all this time with my grandchildren and my children, of course. Because one of the things that the Divine Principle teaches is the 3-generation living together: grandparents, parents, and children. Yes? And there's a reason for that. Who will take the best care of your children, really, when it comes down to it? If you need the help, if you have to go to work, if the grandparents can do it. Of course, the grandparents. Yes? Yeah, if they weren't abusive parents. Okay, I'm just saying. The ideal is what? And I'm so excited to be able to be a part of that restoration process again, where in my family, that is becoming a big, big reality. And it isn't just me. My husband is doing the same thing. It's really amazing to me on how our children can really depend on their dad and their mom. Yeah? When it comes to their own family life now, and it isn't just taking care of children, it's also, my husband has helped them a lot with fixing up their homes, taking care of this or that. Yes, because he's such a genius in just about anything when it comes to fixing things, this and cars and that. And so, yeah, and of course also being there for the grandchildren and this and that. And of course he drives me around too, because I don't drive anymore. So, sometimes when I think that sometimes when we really truly want to trust God, yes, He will. What do we read here in the Old Testament on how God will be there? He's going to make way for you. He's going to pave the way for you in a way if you're willing to follow what? His desire on what it is to live together, to be his children and do well and succeed and be good. Yes? Adventurous, of course. Discover things. Yes. kind of be there for each other, serve each other. And from what I get sometimes, right, from how people are expressing themselves, is that that has to happen a big old, really, it's got to be seen kind of way. Miracles, visible miracles. It's kind of what people are waiting for, don't they? Not realizing that. But if you do your part within your family structure and really are trying, you'll see how amazing things can turn out to work together. Yes. I have a lot of work ahead of me. And I'm hoping that physically I'm going to be real good together and have it to, okay, there is where my organizing thing comes in, right? And I'm going to do the best that I can for my children, my grandchildren. Yes, my son-in-laws. Uh, just want to be the best grandma ever, the best Grozy that there is. All right, there you go. And I talked to my granddaughter. I said, "Hey, the 11-year-old, my oldest granddaughter." I said, "Hey, I'm planning to do a treasure hunt." I said, "Would you like to be a part of that and kind of help me figure that out a little bit?" And I said, "And of course, even though I'm going to make you, the parts where you're a part of the treasure hunt, I'm not going to tell you, so you're still a part of it." And she's like, "Oh yeah, girls, yeah, I really want to do that." So we're working on that together to see on how we can make it really interesting. And yes, 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 yes. So still working on that. All right, we are in. All right. I think we already had. I did not mark this. Why not? We already had this, and we already had this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we are in. Yeah. The second book of Chronicles 17. Then his son Jehoshaphat became the king and mobilized for war against Israel. Oh, what's new? He placed garrisons in all of the fortified cities of Judah, in various other places throughout the country, and in the cities of Ephraim that his father had conquered. All right, so he prepared for war, but it sounds to me like here he was just defending, right? He made sure that he put army, this, that, military in place to defend in case. Okay, is that preparing for war? To me, preparing for war means you have a designated area in mind where you're going that's not yours and you want it. And you're going to do it by what? Through war. To me, this though sounds like he's fortifying the cities of Judah and making sure that there is a defense there, that they're not completely unprotected. Now, that's commendable, isn't it, in a way? Because what I've said, as soon as, oftentimes people who are on the offense, when they see the defense is already there, often, I'm not saying always, they run the other way. Yes? I found that in my life, personally, people who attack other people for no other reason because they can, because they think there is somebody weaker, and when they realize, they're prepared. Oh, that's not quite good. They run like cowards. Okay? Yes? Just saying. That has been my experience. Or if you call them out, then they suddenly, oops. Just because you're a good person doesn't mean that you can't call someone out and say, well, that was a bunch of BS. Why are you saying that? Right? Yes? Explain what you actually mean here. Yeah. I find oftentimes people who manipulate others or try to control others, this are counting on the other person not confronting them with some common sense or whatever. It's you're kind of baffling on what was that, or oh, I guess I better follow along because uh, yes, that's what I always say. Man, studying is a good thing. Study up on things, right? Oh, which brings me to just one quick thing. Okay, maybe if I remember that later because it kind of goes right with what I just said, and preparing and this and that, or studying up and then be prepared. All right. Later. I'm all over the place already because I gotta go downstairs, clean the kitchen, I gotta cook some food, and I gotta get back out to the garden. Yes. Go finish up out there. Actually on the porch. Okay, Daniela, just I know. I can't help it. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he followed in the good footsteps of his father's early years and did not worship idols. Oh, early years. Oh, so later years not so good. Okay. He obeyed the commandments of his fathers. God, quite unlike the people across the border in the land of Israel. Why can't they just say he obeyed the commandments of his father's God? Of his father's God. That should be his God. He obeyed the commandments of whom? Of God. His father's God? How many gods were there already at that time that you had to really... Yes? I'm just saying. So weird. And then throw that in. Quite unlike the people across the border in the land of Israel. Why always point that finger? If you're so sure about yourself, you don't need to do that. In my opinion, that is not necessary. Then I have to question again. Well, if you're pointing the finger at somebody else, then you're just what? You want to look good again? You want to look better than something else. Who says that's really the case in the other parts of Israel? They're all supposed to be united anyway. You know what I mean? Hey, just this gets on my nerves, stuff like that. So the Lord strengthened his position as king of Judah. Okay. All the people of Judah cooperated by paying their taxes. So he became very wealthy as well as being very popular. Okay then. He boldly followed the paths of God, even knocking down the heathen altars on the hills and destroying the Asherim idols. I thought, how many times are they going to do that? And how many times did they actually ever do that? Right? Yes? That sounds good, right? Yeah, okay. In the 3rd year of his reign, he began a nationwide religious education program. Well, holy cannoli, look at all them new words in here. He sent out top government officials as teachers in all the cities of Judah. These men included Ben-Hail, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nathanael, and Micaiah. He also used the Levites for this purpose, including Shemaiah, Nethaniah, Zebediah, Asahel, Shemiramot, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobijah, and Tobadonijah. Also the priests Elishama and Jehoram. They took copies of the book of the law of the Lord to all the cities of Judah to teach the scriptures to the people. What the heck is the book of the law of the Lord? What is that? The 10 Commandments? Also, what is this about up here? Ben-Hail, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nathanael, Micaiah. He also used the Levites for this purpose. The Levites were put in place by God for that exact purpose. It sounds here like, oh, well, I used them. Who are these other people then? Where did they come from? Again, it sounds good, but there's something not quite right here. Copies of the book of the law of the Lord. I gotta go check that out. What was that? Then the fear of the... Oh, Here we go. Then the fear of the Lord fell upon all the surrounding kingdoms, so that none of them declared war on King Jehoshaphat. What did I just say about what did I say in the beginning? He fortified all the places, and okay, it works. I'm telling you. Even some of the Philistines brought him presents and annual tribute, and the Arabs donated 7,700 rams and 7,700 male goats. So Jehoshaphat became very strong and built fortresses and supply cities throughout Judah. His public works program was and it's interesting how they word this. His public works program was also extensive, and he had a huge army stationed at Jerusalem, his capital. 300,000 Judean troops were there under General Adnah. Next in command was Yehohanan, with an army of 280,000 men. Next was Amaziah, son of Zikri, a man of unusual piety, with 200,000 troops. Benjamin supplied 200,000 men equipped with bows and shields under the command of Eliada, a great general. His second in command was Jehozabad, with 180,000 trained men. These were the troops in Jerusalem, in addition to those placed by the king in the fortified cities throughout the nation. Okay, there it is. 17. Not bad, not too bad at all. It seems to me like that this guy, Yehoshaphat, in a way, is on the right path. Because what is he doing? He's got all them troops this snap, but where are they? Are they going out anywhere? Well, they may still. I mean, I've got hope. I have hope, okay? Leave me that little bit of hope for today. And it sounds like that due to the fact that he's protecting his people. Okay, he's protecting his people. He's not going after other people, after other land or this. He's protecting his people. He's protecting them so well that the surrounding kingdoms don't want anything to do with all these hundreds and thousands of men ready to do what? Fight. Anyway, and I've noted that. It sounds like to me, and this again would be interesting to know a little bit more about it. All these soldiers, I have no doubt, while they were at the ready, were helping out in the fields with the animals, with right? Yes? And so they are prospering. Yes? Yeah? Okay. There's one thing. Even some of the Philistines brought him presents and annual tribute. And again, where is that going to lead Jehoshaphat when it comes to serving our Father in heaven? And bringing the people to where they need to be. Because it is it is like a snare. As soon as one starts to accumulate, right, way more than what you ever need, even in daily life, you're going to start getting ensnared. You're going to fall into that pit. And then, again, God can't be there. That's not God's way. Never, ever. And if anyone has ever studied the principles of creation out there and how much God has given with us to have to do absolutely nothing, it's pretty amazing. Right? Well, anyway. Oh, what was that other thing I was going to tell you? Can't remember now. Then it wasn't important. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. It's going to be a short one. I've got to go. Such beautiful days. It's not quite as sunny today, so, right? Yes, I was working with a shirt outside yesterday, most of the day, because I didn't want to get a sunburn on my shoulders, and I would have. This is the time. Be careful. Don't get a sunburn. It's not worth it. You know, who cares if you're a little whiter or darker? I'm just saying. Right? But to get a sunburn is not healthy. Don't do it. So put a hat on, put a light shirt on, when you're working outside right now, and slowly expose yourself to the, yes, strength of the sun. Yeah. Anywho, so there it is. It's gonna rain today as well, which is great. And the bugs are just everywhere again, and they don't bother me. I said they're not. I don't know. I've never really had a problem with bugs. I just don't. It's just, where do I live? So I just live with them, and they live with me, kind of thing. Yeah, and they come and go. I said they don't bother me. All right, that's all I wanted to share today. I wish I could remember what I was going to say. It's kind of fun. Should have mentioned it then, but it didn't. Yehoshaphat. Eh, kind of enjoyed reading this one. Yes, kind of. Yeah. So there it is, guys. I can't remember. I know, but I can't remember. It's gone. It's completely gone. Not meant. Not meant to tell it, which is fine too. All right. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to you all another time.